welcome back to Skyway Bound presents Fly Tampa Fly. Thanks for joining us today. We exist to inspire and grow the aviation small business community in the Greater Tampa Bay area, and we're always looking to highlight small business owners with an aviation-centric entrepreneurial mindset. So if you know of anybody that falls within that wheelhouse, if you will, please connect us and we would love to interview them. Eventually we want to start having more guests on this show. So thanks for joining us today, and we are just going to move forward into our slides. All right, we got some political slides today. There's been a massive federal spending bill that's headed to vote. I think it's either this week or next week or last week. And it was about $12.5 million for airport and air traffic control infrastructure projects over the next 4 years. The overall national budget for the 2025 fiscal year is expected to be put to vote on the House floor. And a section of that bill is titled the Air Traffic Control Staffing and Modernization. Budgets for a variety of infrastructure improvements, of which include air traffic control tower and terminal radar approach control facility placements, replacing radar systems, telecommunications infrastructure and other system replacements, and air traffic controller recruitment, training, and training technology efforts. And that also includes funding for airport runway safety projects and just overall general infrastructure. So stay tuned for that. And keep watching your political news. A little bit more political news. Under a proposed Senate bill, all aircraft operating in Class B airspace within the United States would be required to install and use ADS-B out and in technology, currently only required to use ADS-B out within specific airspaces, Class Bravo airspace to be Alpha and Bravo to be specific. Current regulations require aircraft operating in Class Bravo airspace be equipped with and use ADS-B out, but there are no regulations mandating the use of ADS-B in. Many aircraft are equipped to display ADS-B in traffic on cockpit displays and portable devices, but as of yet there has been no FAA regulatory work on the ADS-B in mandates. However, the Secretary of Transportation is able to grant exemptions for the use of the ADS-B in Class Bravo and other airspace where ADS-B is required. Of course, remember the incident in January between the Army helicopter and the airline aircraft. This is the Army helicopter didn't have its ADS-B equipment switched on, so after the incident, the FAA required all aircraft operating within the Washington, D.C. Class Bravo airspace have ADS-B out turned on. The senator who's introducing the bill believes the legislation will make certain aircraft in busy Class Bravo airspace are transmitting and receiving important tracking data to both protect themselves and help air traffic control better control landings and takeoffs. Essentially, they're trying to make sure that you have the equipment and you're using it, and that includes minimizing the exemptions. But exemptions can be they'll still be able to give exemptions for certain people, VIPs, if you will, that are looking to kind of be a little bit more stealthy with their movements, if you will. For example, like the president, he gets an exemption. All right, we got a little news with eVTOL hybrids. The publicly traded United Kingdom-based Vertical Aerospace recently confirmed their plans to develop a hybrid electric version of its VX4 eVTOL aircraft. This new variant is expected to offer longer range than all its all-electric model, which is only capable, and it will be capable of operating up to a range of 1,000 miles. For comparison, its 4-passenger all-electric VX4 only has a range of about 100 miles, so that's a very big difference. It's going to be designed for autonomous, remotely piloted, or pilot onboard operations, and it will be able to operate in a variety of configurations, applying to defense, logistics, air ambulance services, and commercial passenger flights. So there you go, some Some new developments in the world of eVTOLs. Oops, I went to... All right, some exciting news in the world of Florida eVTOLs. Miami-based air mobility startup UrbanLink. They recently increased its order for Regent Craft's all-electric Seagliders to 47 Viceroys. Apparently, I think they had started with 20, and now they increased their, or 30, and they increased their number to 47. I can't remember the exact number they started out with, but they increased their order, which sounds like a good deal for Regent Craft. Their current plan is to use the Viceroy vehicles to transport passengers in South Florida and Puerto Rico. They're hoping to receive the first aircraft sometime in 2027. The Viceroy Seaglider is a wing-in ground effect craft designed to carry a dozen passengers on regional coastal trips up to 180 miles, soaring emissions-free just above the water surface at a speed of about 160 knots. UrbanLink believes Miami-based routes alone could potentially serve up to 4.3 million passengers per year. This technology could cut the travel time, they're claiming, it could cut the travel time, the 73-mile trip between Miami and West Palm Beach, it's on the east coast of Florida, to approximately 35 minutes, down from the average 2+ hours if you're driving the route in an automobile during rush hour. So that's one thing. That's one of the things I'm excited about in the world of eVTOLs, is their ability to move people from point A to point B and just get around the rush hour traffic. I hate driving in rush hour. I hate driving on I-4 here in the Greater Tampa Bay area. More eVTOL news, specifically with regards to flying cars. Klein Vision, they recently unveiled their AirCar at the 2025 Living Legends of Aviation Award ceremony in California. During the ceremony, they announced their flying car is entering production soon, with deliveries anticipated to start in 2026. According to the company, the AirCar can transform from car mode to flight mode in under 2 minutes. The prototype is powered by a 280 horsepower internal combustion engine. However, the company is waiting for battery technology to increase enough before converting the AirCar to all electric. With the gas engine, it can reach speeds of up to 155 miles per hour and travel up to 621 miles per tank of fuel. Their vision, Klein Vision is currently accepting orders. Price-wise, the two-seat vehicle is expected to cost between $800,000 and $1 million, $800,000 and $1 million, and that, of course, that depends on how many features that you want to come with the vehicle. So some exciting news as flying cars continue to make progress as well. All right, we got a little bit of, I guess you'd call it stock news, if you will. I'm just going to go down the list with some highlights from specific companies, probably not all of them. For example, Archer, they recently have been selected as the official air taxi provider for the Los Angeles 2028 Los Angeles Olympics and Paralympic Games, and they're aiming to deploy their midnight eVTOL during the games. Blade Air Mobility, in May, Blade Air Mobility came out with their quarterly earnings, and their revenues exceeded expectations, and their net losses came in, they improved with their net losses. So they were still a net loss, but they were less of a net loss than they were expecting, and apparently that percentage was 65% below what they had forecast as their net loss. So it sounds like a positive improvement for the company. Of course, the goal is to eventually become not a net loss, but a net profit, and it sounds like they're on their way. Ehang Holdings, in May, the company reported their quarterly decrease in revenue as well as a widening of their net losses, so they seem to be kind of going in the opposite direction according to what they've reported. Eve Holding, in their May quarterly earnings, they reported an increase in net loss in their first quarter of 2025. And this was primarily driven to research and development expenses. What that includes is the advance of development of their products and solutions for their urban air mobility, which includes, and it also includes a master service agreement with Embraer. So they're doing research and development for their own solution, working alongside, they have an agreement with the company Embraer. Let's look at vertical airspace. Vertical EVTL is their letters. Vertical Airspace Limited. Last week, the company they announced that it has made a European aviation history with the first ever piloted wing-borne flight of a winged electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft in open UK airspace. This flight marks a critical step towards their commercial development as part of their Verticals Flight Path 2030 strategy, so they seem to be making progress. Looking into Joby Aviation, they also reported a net loss in their recent earnings. The first quarter in 2025 versus the first quarter in 2024, the loss narrowed by, they say, about 13%. So that sounds like a positive development. And their earnings per share went from in the same year-over-year quarterly comparison, went from 14 cents in 2024 first quarter to 11 cents loss per share. So the gap is narrowing, and their goal is to get that to not a loss per share, but a profit per share in the future. And then lastly, Surf Air Mobility recently entered into an interline agreement with Japan Airlines. And this is expanding their potential to access over 435 million customers and potentially improving connectivity within the Hawaii region. So a little bit of stock news from the world of eVTOLs. I'm probably missing a few that are still publicly trading. I'll get them on there eventually. Little business development news. I found this app and I thought it was pretty cool to share. A new app called Fly Eats. They seek to ease the integration of food stops into pilots' travel plans. You don't have to be a pilot to use the app, but it's primarily for pilots. The app can identify airport restaurants within a certain radius distance of your home field, which is ideal when seeking new destinations for the old $100 hamburger. For cross-country travel, Fly and Eat shows restaurants along your route, plus menus, hours, contact information, and other critical details, including airport locations, identifiers, websites, and time zones. Fly and Eat even fills users in on restaurants, decor, and other amenities. Well, that probably wasn't so important. Maybe it is. Fly and Eat is available via Apple or Android devices for a monthly or annual subscription fee. Of course. You didn't think it was going to be freeware, did you? Good for them for coming up with and I put that out there to, we're trying to encourage economic small business development within Florida. And this is just an example of things that are being produced that, hey, maybe we could come up with something better in this in the great state of Florida. All right, I think I touched upon this a while ago. However, we'll touch upon it again. The emerging robotics sector has experienced billions of dollars in investment in recent years. For commercial properties, drone technology is changing the game when it comes to exterior maintenance and restoration. Cleaning drones are especially engineered with high-pressure, low-impact spray systems and are operated remotely by certified technicians from the ground. Drone cleaning systems can be deployed much quicker than traditional cleaning setups that may need weeks of preparation and staging. And benefits include the technology ability to minimize water usage, avoid surface damage, and it enables fast and safe deployment with minimal disruption to building occupants. This technology respects residency privacy, as drones do not have the eyes or the ability to peer inside, addressing a frequent concern at residential and healthcare properties. They do have cameras though, so let's see how they work around that. Also, single drones can replace a whole team of window cleaners, eliminating the need for costly labor and time-consuming manual work. Drones fly effortlessly from window to window, bypassing the need for rope systems and harnesses. That's where the labor cost is where these things are really going to make a change and truly be an industry disruptor. So it's coming. Robotics are happening. If you're in Florida and you're looking for an idea, this is definitely something to consider. And more competition brings the cost down, which makes things better for everybody. All right, we're coming to the end. As always, our industry events are on our website there, and we made some slight updates. There were no Florida events for the month of June, so I didn't highlight it with an extra bullet. But there are some Florida events coming up I think in July. User fees, we haven't updated this in a while. If you see any new user fee airports, and I'm talking about user fees, not the entering the country kind of user fees, the customs user fees, but the literally user fees to only use the airport, like you're just going to do touch and goes, and they're gonna use your ADSB data to charge you a user fee. So we would like to know where those airports are, so we can get them on a master list and kind of not go there. If you're looking to learn to fly, there's always scholarship opportunities available. FAA literally has on its website, just Google or ChatGPT, FAA scholarship opportunities. It should take you to the FAA website. If not, that will also be in the description below for your convenience. We also will put in the description below. We have a whole list. This list you see here, we're gonna put them in the description as well, so you can conveniently go to those individual scholarships. The FAA, I think, has a few more, and then of course use your various your search functions, whether it be Google search or ChatGPT or whatever the other AI search functions are, and you can find a scholarship. And for those of you who are a little bit older, don't think some of these scholarships, you can find scholarships for you if you're a little bit older too. Whatever you got to lose, just give it a shot. Do the research and see what you can find. There's all sorts of little scholarships out there. Most of them aren't going to pay for your full training, but they might get you started. All right, we're at the end. Of course, we always want to thank our sponsors. First of all, we're going to start off thanking Jetline Systems. They provide flight simulation technologies with their purpose-built computer systems that run flight simulation systems in any environment, from desktop to PC servers to large-scale simulators. Each system is hand-built, stability-tested, benchmarked, and optimized to maximize performance and stability with the flight simulation software of your choice. They do scalable work. They're currently working with multiple universities, and they've got some government contracts as well. These guys are the real deal. If you have any flight simulation questions, even if you only have a question, reach out to them. They'll get you pointed in the right direction. They are definitely well known within the flight simulation, the U.S. flight simulation industry. They're just a good group. So reach out to Jetline for your flight simulation questions. And if you know somebody that's looking for not like a regional airline or cargo service, they do professional flight simulation. They do scalable flight simulation solutions. So keep that in mind as well. As always, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, MindMyPC. They're a cybersecurity and IT sourcing solution for small to medium-sized businesses. They provide 24/7 hours, days a week availability, and that gives you the business owner peace of mind that you can focus on whatever you do best. If you're not an IT person, you don't have to deal with that. In today's world, cybersecurity threats continue to increase. You can do a search and you will find some article daily, if not more than one article daily, on some sort of somebody being hacked or some new bug that they found, made by hackers. It's it's a lot of work, to monitor systems like that. And yes, automation helps, and that's how a lot of these managed services providers do that, is with some automation. But do you have time to do that? Do you have time to sit in front of your computer and do that? No, you don't. so let professionals help you out. Let our friends at MindMyPC help you out. And then finally, Skyway Bound. If you know anybody that's looking to get into the world of aviation, point them in our direction and let's have a conversation. They don't even have to be a pilot. There's so many jobs within the aviation industry. We just like to talk about aviation and like to get people into the industry, especially really good people. Just connect us. We'd love to see how we can help them. And I think that is going to be a wrap at that point. That's my last slide. Thanks for joining us today. And as I always sign off with, the road is long, the road is hard, but if you have a dream, just get out there and make it happen. Remember, do not quit, do not quit, do not quit. The sky is just the beginning. Get out there and make it happen. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will catch up with you guys soon.